It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl today. Two outstanding elementary teams vying for the chance to get on to the semifinals. Let's meet them right now from Avalon Elementary. Please welcome Jamisha Norman, Ariana Elmore, and DeAndre Vaden. And from Glenarden Woods, here they are, Rachel Ma, Clifford Fields, and Ayad Camille. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green Things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body Systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's Get Physical, questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And under the 2 rounds, one of these 2 outstanding schools will come back to play our game again and perhaps become the second of this year's 4 finalists in our competition. Let's go over and make sure everything is working properly. Let's go first to the red team. And Ariana, try your buzzer for us. That's a group push over there. Jamisha and Ariana and DeAndre, good luck to you. And Clifford, would you try yours? It too seems to be in good shape. Try that one more time if you would. All right. To you, Iyad and Rachel, good luck today. Congratulations on making it this far in the competition. Let's have a good game. We go alphabetically A before G. So Avalon, Ariana, start the game.
Green Things for 5.
Green Things for 5 points. Teams, because we have had such a mild winter, these trademark blossoms around Washington's tidal basin, Glenarden Woods,
Cherry blossoms.
the cherry blossoms, they're popping out already. Even they know spring is at hand, we think. Go Green.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, please, for this question, if you would. Teams, this is an x-ray of what nasty, slithery fish? Avalon.
Eel?
It is an eel, a viper eel. Did you see that nasty head? Flotsam and Jetsam from The Little Mermaid. They were nasty critters. Go red.
Body Systems for 5.
Body Systems for 5 points. Teams, we can download apps, but keep up your crunches because you can't download Glenarden Woods.
Abs.
Abs, that's right. You got to do the crunches. No getting around that. Good answer. 60-60, tie score. Go Green.
Let's Get Physical for 10.
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, men and women are very different. In fact, one author said men are from Mars and women are from Glenarden Woods.
Jupiter?
Not Jupiter, Avalon. Men are from Mars and women are from what other cloud-enshrouded planet that is near Earth?
Venus?
Venus. Women are from Venus. That's right. Thanks, Jamisha, for your assist on that. Go red. You're in the lead.
Science Potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, what same word is a Volkswagen car, a British rock group, and an insect that can get Glenarden Woods?
Beetle.
A beetle. Ground up cochineal beetles give the red flavoring and coloring to cranberry juice and red M&Ms. Maybe that will keep you from eating them in the future. Go Green.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, it was back in 1967 when Percy Spencer was working with a radar machine when he noticed the chocolate bar in his pocket had melted, thereby coming up. Avalon.
Radiation?
Not radiation, good try. Mr. Spencer, by finding that melted chocolate bar in his pocket while working with a radar machine, came up with what kitchen device that is now found in 90% of all American homes?
Microwave?
A microwave, that's right. So now we can nuke our breakfast. Good, go. Glenarden Woods, Green.
Green Things for 10.
Green Things for 10 points. Teams, cinnamon is one of the few spices that we human beings eat that is made from this outer covering of a tree? Glenarden Woods.
Bark.
The bark, the cinnamon bark. Absolutely right. Good. Green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if an athlete has an injury like Gronkowski did in the Super Bowl game, that area is known as his Achilles what? Glenarden Woods.
Heel.
Heel, the place where someone is very vulnerable. Absolutely right. Good. Thank you, Eod, for your sister. You're at the century mark, 100. All right, Avalon, let's not get that score too wide here. Go Glenarden Woods.
Potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, one of the 10 most valuable public health measures of the last century was when city fathers added this chemical to drinking water. Glenarden Woods.
Fluoride.
Fluoride, yes, to prevent tooth decay. Absolutely right. Good answer, Glenarden Woods. Green.
Dateline for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Interior Secretary Antonio Salazar has now banned the importation of these Burmese snakes that are eating all the animals. Glenarden Woods.
Pythons.
The pythons that are eating up all the animals in the Everglades. All of the possums and all the raccoons are disappearing. All right, 125 to 70. Go Green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. A visual question. Teams, the most commonly sold potted plant in this country is this. These beautiful flowers, oftentimes worn by girls at the prom. What flowers are they, Avalon?
Corsage.
What flowers?
Roses. Roses.
Not roses, nope. Glenarden Woods, what kinds of flowers are they, the most commonly sold potted plants in the country?
Lilies.
Orchids. Orchids. They are orchids. Try again, Green.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade, 15 points. Teams, the Australian lion, which is now extinct, was the largest land mammal ever in Australia. And scientists now say that it, like koalas and wallabies and kangaroos, reproduced what way? Glenarden Woods.
Asexually.
Not asexually, no. How did that lion in Australia reproduce if it reproduced the same way as kangaroos and wallabies and Tasmanian devils and koalas?
Bisexually?
No, they were marsupials. They were pouched animals, just like all the others. All right. The buzzer's rung. Come to the end of first round. Score 125, Glenarden Woods, 70 for Avalon. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't go away.
You can never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does. No matter how safe you feel, adding multiple safety steps can mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Hi, I'm Jordan Sparks, and my I Matter You campaign is all about making a difference, and SOS Children's Villages does just that. I cannot believe how many children SOS has helped around the world by building villages, helping abandoned children, and giving them a mother and house to grow up in. I'm calling on everyone that I know to support SOS in their efforts to help kids at risk of abandonment in countries like Sudan, Vietnam, and Haiti. SOS helps these children over the long term, and you can make a real difference in a child's life. MAD, making a difference. That's what it's all about, and SOS is one of the best. You've got to check them out at sosusa.org.
SOS Children's Villages gives homes and hope to children in need all around the world. Join SOS and Jordan Sparks in making a difference. Visit sosusa.org to learn more.
And welcome back to Science Ball. 2 grade schools here. One of them, Glenarden Woods, has been here twice already this season. They are moving on possibly to a repeat of a county championship. They last won in 2008. And Avalon, an up-and-coming school, first time this year. You got a bye because of the success you had last year. Nice to have you guys back. A championship would be your first. Let's go to Avalon first and find out about the school. Ariana, tell us about Avalon. There's some big news down there about your school.
Yes, they're going to build a new one.
Yeah, brand new Avalon. Unfortunately, you guys won't be able to attend, will you? No, but you're going to have to go back and visit, and you are part of the legacy of Avalon, whether it's an old school or a new school. Who's your principal?
Dr. Bruce.
Dr. Bruce. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Grubb and Mr. Cassis.
Wonderful. And I know they are new sponsors, and we thank them for all the work they've done to get this team ready. Any alternates on your team?
One, Marshall Mendoza.
Okay, and Marshall's out there in the wings, and we'll bring him up in just a few moments with Miss Grubbs. Tell me about Avalon. It's a great place to go to school. Why?
Because of the good academic and extracurricular activities.
Yeah. What kind of extracurricular activities? What are some that you engage in?
Like the news and band.
Yeah, and I know, Jamisha, you are on the news. You're the voice of Avalon, aren't you, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about, that's why you're so comfortable on camera here. You look like a star, and you are. You want to be an actor someday, right?
Yes.
And you're a potter, so you're real artsy, craftsy.
Yes.
Why did you want to be on our show?
Because I enjoy science.
And it shows. And you're coming up with great answers. Even if you don't get the right answers, you're always on the right track. So you obviously have practiced and you've done your homework. We know what you want to do someday. Ariana, before we go over to DeAndre, let's go back to you for a second. Tell me about your future plans.
I want to be a chemist or an inventor.
Or an inventor, okay. And DeAndre, how about you?
Well, when I grow up, I want to be like, in the music industry, I would like to be like a producer or someone who is in charge of a music industry.
Wonderful. There's a big industry out there. You watch the Grammy Awards and you think all the jobs that are out there, right?
Yes.
Now you're an actor, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and you have got a lot of poise and on-camera presence. What have you acted in?
I've acted in one of my church plays. I forgot the title of it, but it was like I was a little brother of a girl who was going in the wrong direction in her life, but then she changed over in the end of the play.
So it had a happy ending, did it?
Yes.
That's wonderful. All right, let's hope you have a happy ending today. No matter what happens, you guys are winners because you've been such good players here on Science Bowl. Glenarden Woods, nice to have you guys back. Clifford, tell us about Glenarden Woods. Who's your principal?
Miss Boulding.
Absolutely. She's been over there for a number of years and always comes up with new and different things for you guys to do. Tell me who your sponsor is.
My sponsors, we have three: Miss Wright, Miss Monroe, and Miss Stewart.
Wonderful. And Miss Stewart is here today, and she has been such a great supporter of Science Bowl over the years and a wonderful educator in her own right. We'll bring her out in just a few moments. Any alternates, Clifford?
Yes, we have two: Jamelo Ebo and Charles Jones.
Wonderful. And they'll be out here in just a few moments. They're trying to send you answers telepathically from our green room down the hall. You guys are doing just fine on your own. Tell us how you prepared for today's game, Clifford.
Well, we asked each other's questions that we found on the news.
Yeah, because a lot of times that's where our questions come from. We tried to tie the news into basic science, and you guys have gotten that formula down well. Tell me about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I read, play piano in summer and spring and fall. I swim, and I watch the news.
Wonderful. A scholar athlete. You're doing all the right things, Clifford. You keep it up. Yeah, nice to have you back. You're a sportsman. 3 sports, right?
Yes.
What are they?
There's soccer, basketball, and football.
If you had to choose one.
It would be soccer.
Soccer, yeah. You look like a good soccer player. Why'd you want to be on this show?
I want to be on the show because I like science, and my brothers were on the show before, so I want to follow in the footsteps.
Wow, I'm sure they're really proud of you, and you're going to do them proud by what you've done here today. Thanks for following in their footsteps. And Rachel, nice to have you back. You're a very quiet young lady, but you really know your stuff. How do you know so much science?
Well, like the other people on my team, I watch out for things in the news, and in school I pay attention when we have science class.
Yeah, that is readily apparent. And you like to read in your spare time, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of books you like?
I like manga, which are Japanese comics.
Wonderful. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be either a musician or an artist.
Or an artist. Well, you're a very disciplined young lady. You're bringing a lot to your team. Are we ready to get back into the game?
Yeah.
All right. Steel yourself for the second half here. 125 Glenarden Woods, 70 for Avalon. Lots of points to give away. Clifford, start us out.
Potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, we drive cars now that are electric cars, hybrid cars, cars fueled by biofuels, but by 2015, the government says we're going to be driving cars fueled by this gas that is #1 on the periodic table. What gas is that, Avalon?
Hydrogen.
You got that right. Now you're cooking. Go. Avalon, red.
Super for 5.
Super 8 for 5 points. Teams, this prognosticating rodent saw his shadow, which means, Ariana.
Groundhog.
The groundhog. 6 more weeks of winter. If the rest is what we've had, bring it on, right? Go red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points. Teams, if the Sun and Antares and Proxima Centauri all rumbled, it would never happen. But if they did, you'd have an astronomical version of Dancing with the what? Glenarden Woods?
Stars.
Stars, that's right. Good. Go. Green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, if you are hypotensive, what body condition measured by a sphygmomanometer would be too low? Avalon, what would be too low?
Blood pressure?
Yeah, blood pressure. Good answer. Good parsing of that. Hypertensive is too high. Hypo, too low. Red, you're 100 points. Go.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Some scientists now say that the new source of biofuels will be seaweed. Seaweed growing will be easier than growing corn. Give me 2 reasons why it would be so much easier to grow seaweed. 2 reasons. 2 reasons. Talk among yourselves, Avalon, in case I have to come to you. Glenarden Woods, 2 reasons why it's easier to grow seaweed than corn.
Because 75% of the earth is seawater. Is water, and also seaweed grows. It grows on water, so we don't have to water it.
Judges are giving you a yes on that. Absolutely right. You don't have to water it. You don't have to fertilize it. You don't need any land. Good answer. Green, go.
Dateline for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, forget about therapy. Doctors now say the best stress reliever is popping this insulation. Glenarden Woods.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap. Sit there for an hour and pop those bubbles, and your stress will disappear. Try it. Go green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Did you say green things? Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, as the temperature rises, so does the corrosiveness of these kinds of chemicals. Glenarden Woods.
Acid.
Acids, absolutely right. Acid and corrosive, synonymous almost. Good. Go. Green.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade, 20 points. Teams, the reason why sea mammals like whales and walruses and seals is so huge is because it provides what kind of physiological benefit? What does all that blubber do for them, Glenarden Woods?
It keeps them warm.
It keeps them warm. It is a form of insulation. Yes, indeed. Good. Glenarden Woods.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems, 20 points. Teams, when a doctor dilates your pupils to look deep into your eyes, he wants to see the retina at the back and this nerve. What nerve, Glenarden Woods? Yes, sir.
The optic nerve.
The optic nerve it is. I didn't know if you were going to pull that one out of the hat. Yes, indeed. Good group work over there. Glenarden Woods again, please.
Let's get physical for 20.
Get physical for 20 points. Teams, chlorofluorocarbons in aerosol cans was banned because it was destroying what protective, Glenarden Woods?
Ozone.
The ozone layer. That's right. It was destroying the ozone layer, so we then had to go to aerosols. Good. 230, 100. Come on, Avalon. You can still do this. You got to get the rest of these. Ariana, let's jump on that. DeAndre and Jamisha, help her out. Help her out. Go, Clifford.
Potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, there's a wonderful picture of Buzz Aldrin, the second man on the moon, standing on the moon. The man who took the picture was the first man on the moon. Who was that? Glenarden Woods?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Green, go.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline, 20 points. Teams, There is an Australian scientist who says that the Australian ecosystem has been so disrupted by importing strange animals, he wants to bring back the original megafauna, like elephants and these largest lizards on Earth that live in Glenarden Woods.
Komodo dragons.
Yeah, the Komodo dragons from the nearby islands in Indonesia. He wants to bring them back and put them on the continent of Australia. Green, please.
Green things for 25.
Green things, 25 points. Big one in that category, teams. Whenever you study food webs or food chains in school, oftentimes the plants are labeled as autotrophs. A-U-T-O-T-R-O-P-H-S. Autotrophs. Plants are so named because what can they do? What can they do, Glenarden Woods?
Photosynthesize.
Not quite. Judges? Give me more explanation, please.
They can feed themselves?
Yes, they feed themselves. They make their own food. They photosynthesize. Good. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you, Eod. Go. Green.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade, 25. Big one in that category, teams. If you go to Camp Schmidt, I hope you've been there, and you go down to the stream and you turn over a rock and you find a crayfish, you have found yourself a Glenarden Woods. Yes, sir. We're going to repeat the question for Avalon. If you go to the stream in Camp Schmidt, you turn over a rock and you find yourself a crayfish, you have found yourself an animal known as a decapod. It's called a decapod because it has what?
It has 10 legs.
It's got 10 legs. Absolutely right. Good. Got yourself 25 points. Go, Avalon. Come on.
Body systems, 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, if you've got brown eyes, it's probably because you have dominant genes. You inherited dominant genes. But if you have lighter colored eyes, you might have inherited Glenarden Woods.
Recessive?
Yeah, recessive genes. One from each parent. 3 questions left. Where, Green?
Potpourri for 25.
Potpourri, 25. Big one in that category, teams. There's a new bridge built over the bay in San Francisco. The people who built that bridge obviously were good students, and they were very good at all 4 of the STEM subjects. What are they, Avalon?
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
You got all 4. That's it for 25 points. Good. Ariana, go.
Let's get physical.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Teams, little creatures, little roundworms called vinegar eels can live in vinegar if it has not gone through what heating? Glenarden Woods.
Dilution?
Not dilution. Avalon, you can find little roundworms called vinegar eels in vinegar if the vinegar has not gone through what heating process that milk and orange juice has to go through?
Pasteurization.
You got that right for 25. And last question of the game, Dateline for 25 points, is as follows. They recently found a copy of the famous painting, the Mona Lisa. It is thought to have been painted by a student of what famous artist? Glenarden Woods.
Leonardo da Vinci?
That would be it. Da Vinci, who also invented the first helicopter. And that means our game is over. We'll be right back with a wrap-up. Don't you go away.
Because play might be the best way to fight obesity.
Because staying connected makes my family stronger, healthier, and happier.
Because a safe place after school can lead to success in school.
Because physical activity is vital to my health and well-being.
Because I need to make my world better.
Because playing team sports teaches the character and social skills that build leaders.
because learning with others makes for a greater understanding.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other.
Welcome back. Hope you were able to keep up with these 6 outstanding young people today, testing your own scientific literacy. They all passed in my eyes, and I know yours too. What wonderful students, what wonderful players. There are a few tears over there, but they're all winners for having made it this far in our competition. Our final tally, Avalon 175, Glenarden 345. What a game you had. Rachel, Clifford, and Eod, congratulations. Chaz and Chinello, the Altus wave to everybody out there. I know you're happy. Miss Stewart, always a pleasure having you here. You do a great job. And Avalon, I want to see some smiles, not some tears. You guys never gave up. At the very end, you kept trying. You got those big points. We're all proud of you guys. We want to see you come back and play our game again. Jamisha and Ariana and DeAndre. And Miss Grubb, thank you for being part and taking over this year. Mr. Cassis, great job in the old and the new Avalon. And our alternate over here from Avalon, Marshall, congratulations to you too. Thank you for watching today. We'll see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye.